What's up? Welcome back to the channel for another ball review. Today we're going to look at a newer release from Hammer, the Black Widow Tour V1, the first ball in the line that they made with the Tour name on it. And they decided with the Gas Mask Tour to take the flip block off it and make a Tour version. We're out here testing it at Pin Chasers Veterans on a fresher house shot. I just did the video for the Brunswick Energize, so there is a couple games on the lane, but we're just going to test it out and see how this ball does as the lanes transition. All right, let's get into this. So if you saw the Energize video, when I played farther to the right with that ball, even though it's stronger, it gave me a better reaction. So we're going to move just slightly right off of that one shot that I just made and see how it does. Oh, that was a little bit right. All right, so there we go. So first shot, down and in, went a little forward, didn't make it to the pocket. That one, threw it a lot better. It grabbed a little earlier, and we went through the nose. All right, so what are the numbers on this ball? All right, there's the core, and there's the numbers, and there's the cover that they put on it. I believe it's a little bit of a stronger cover than what was on the Effect Tour and the Envy Tour, and both of those balls we are also going to feature in this video as I go along. We want to kind of have a tour type of ball review. All right, that's just a dad joke, so let's move on and throw some more shots. Now, how did I drill this ball? Like I said in the last video, we're just sticking with the 4.5-inch pin placements. So I went, which one did I do on this one? Crap. Oh, I know. I went 50 by 4.5 by 40 on this one. Sorry, I forgot it. I've drilled a few balls in the last few weeks, changing the layouts a little bit. Got a little confused on which one I put on here. So yes, it's gonna be 50 by 4.5 by 40. All right, so off that last shot, I'm gonna move a little bit. As you see from my past videos, we're bowling on Gateway Arch, and there is a lot of hook to the right of second arrow, like you saw on that last shot that hit like 8-9 at the arrows. And then a little left of it, there you go. That was nice, that blended out the wet dry. A little far left than I wanted on that shot, but it blended it out. And there's the finish that they put on this one. It does get through the fronts pretty clean, as a tour ball should. And it's a little more continuous on the back end rather than that forward motion that I get out of the other two balls, the Envy Tour and the Effect Tour, because those are solid covers. Because I like the shape that it gets, I am going to use this when the lanes are transitioning as I'm moving left, and I want a ball with lower differential to move left and throw it more right rather than a bigger ball that you've drilled weak, maybe put a weaker layout on it to get that same shape. So kind of want to use the core to help me out when the lanes are transitioning. All right, same spot, because we don't want to move from there. That was pretty good. It got through the fronts clean and it made a motion on the back end. All right, a little too much angle on that, but I want to test it out. I'm not going to move. We're going to move a little bit farther left later, but as you can see, as you're in more, this is a ball that when the lanes are transitioned, when the fronts are going, not a lot of volume in the front, the fronts are trying to go, and you need a ball that's going to get through the fronts easily without any help. You're just going to roll it, and it's going to get through there by itself. That's kind of what this ball is designed to do. All right, let me throw not as much angle in the front. Let me throw a little bit straighter this time, kind of like I threw the first couple shots. Stay right, keep the lines right in front of me instead of throwing it to the right. But everybody wants to see the ball's boomerang. Why would we want that? I don't know. We want, there's the more of a tour motion. With this house shot, it's probably not a ball I'm going to use on a house shot, like I said, until they're transitioning. Too much oil, it's hitting the dry, and it's going a little more forward than I want. Where if I want that type of motion, I have the other two to use. We're going to showcase in a moment here. But let's just move a little more left, not throw it too far right, and see if I can get that ball to have a continuous motion in the back end. Might be a little bit harder since it is a fresher house shot. I decided to use all 4.5-inch pin placements on all my equipment. That way I basically have the same type of flare, amount of flare in a sense, on all the balls, and I'm just going to change the different valve angles and drilling angles in order to give me the shapes that I need. I've learned to manipulate the ball a little bit, but I don't want to do too much of that. I want to make sure the balls are giving me the right shapes. That way I can keep my hand in a stronger position, because I am getting older and the flexibility is leaving. All right, so let's move a little left and just kind of showcase if I can get it to go left or right or not. We'll see. Might have to go a little slower. There we go. It wasn't a big change of direction. The lanes aren't dry enough for it to grab early enough, but it did make a nice continuous motion that I like to see. This one I'm really liking. Where the effector, I've drilled 2 of them. Really didn't like the shape that I was getting out of it. So since I brought that up, let me show you. Okay, so this is the second effector that I drilled. The first one is in my video. If you want to take time to watch that, my ball review I did on that earlier in the year. This is the second one I drilled. I drilled a little bit stronger than the first one. This one I went 50 by 4.5 by 35. And part of the reason why I put the 40 val angle on that one is because you'll see on this one. It's a little too forward down lane, and I don't want that. So the same spot, right around second arrow. Tour balls, they're not designed to do a lot of left to right. You want them to be smooth. And it is. Smooth, round. Unfortunately, with this one, I kind of drilled it a little too strong. The first one I didn't drill it strong enough. This one I drilled too strong. So I really didn't get a lot of use out of the ball, both of them that I've drilled. And I kind of just don't like the shape of that. It's just a little too slow. I want it to be a little quicker down lane. Not quicker, I want it to be more of an arcing motion, like you can see the core taking over and it make a motion. This one kind of like, once it hits the dry, it kind of steps up. How can I describe it? Once it hits the dry, it kind of just locks up, it just stops. And we don't want that type of motion, especially when you're bowling on patterns. Let me throw another one. Just move 1 or 2 left off of that one. Not bad. That was in a little more oil, a little bit straighter, but I'm not gonna, I'll show you this ball and the MV Tour, I can't go left to right with them. When I do go left to right, they kind of burn up down lane and go really forward. And you really, when you're left to right, you want it to be a reaction, kind of what the widows give you. That quicker motion, that quicker response down lane. That way you can be comfortable if you do miss a little right, the ball is going to recover and make it to the pocket. Let's go farther right one time, and then I'll throw the MV Tour a couple times. That's not right enough. That's not far enough right. Okay. Let's see. Exactly. If I'm in enough oil with that ball, it gets to the fronts, it gets down there. If I'm in too much dry, it grabs too early, and it gives me that over-under. So for me, the way I roll the ball, since I've drilled 2 of them now, I just do not match up with the effector, but I'm liking the shape that I'm getting out of the Black Widow Tour V1. Switch over to an MV Tour. All right, and this is one of the first balls I drilled. Make sure you check out that video as well on this one. This one though, since it was one of the first ones I drilled, the pin placement's a little too weak. I went 50 by 5 by 35 on this one. I didn't know how weak the balls were when I changed brands. So if I were to had another one of these, I would have drilled it more like the Black Widow Tour V1. All right, but let's show this a couple shots so I can show you the difference. And we'll go back to the Widow Tour V1 after this. Okay. Now you notice on that one, it blended the wet dry a lot better. Much more controllable type of motion where the effector was too early in the dry and it was like a little too smooth in the oil. And that's what you don't want out of the tour ball. You want the tour balls to look like these two are looking, the MV Tour and the Black Widow Tour V1. The core is taking over down lane, they're being more responsive down lane, so you can make the right adjustment. All right, make one adjustment, and then we'll throw the Tour V1 a couple more times. Now that one I got left the second arrow, and because there's a little more oil, it got through the heads like we wanted it to, but then when it got to the mid lane, it was a little confused. It didn't know it wanted to pick up, and it went a little longer, and it was a little more forward, exactly like I was explaining earlier in the video. The MV Tour, I had a lot of success using on shorter patterns, so that like 38 and below, 38, 37s, that's where I'm probably going to use it at. Anything longer than that, or maybe in 40 foot flat, that's where I'm going to have success using that ball, where now that we have the Black Widow Tour V1, that's probably a ball that's going to be close to that one, but it's still not going to be the same shape. The Black Widow is going to be a lot quicker down lane. All right, let's couple shots, test this out. Move left, throw it right, and see what we get. More like that. Slower, got into oil, it was quicker down lane. Yeah, not designed for house shots. They're not designed for house shots. Actually, shouldn't say that. Might be designed more for house shots, a lot drier, maybe older surfaces. I'm just probably not going to use this ball on this house shot. Maybe not. I shouldn't say that. Probably going to use it more on patterns though. All right, let's try it again. Because you know, everybody wants to see me bank it. So there you go. Just like the Black Widow Mania, this Black Widow Tour V1 is going to be more of a left to right ball. So as the lanes are transitioning, when you need to open up the lane, you get left and throw it right. If you have a house shot with more friction to the right, that's probably what I was trying to say earlier. If you have more friction to the right on a house shot, where I don't have that here on this Gateway Arch, this is going to be a pretty good ball to use then. All right, last shot, we'll wrap this up. Well, let's throw it the way I want to throw it. I'm not big for getting left to right. Keep it simple, dude. Keep it simple. More like that. All right, guys, that's my ball review on one of the new releases by Hammer, the Black Widow Tour V1. It's in your pro shops now. Go in there, ask them about it. Maybe that's what you might want to add it to your arsenal. Make sure you do that thing, hit that like, subscribe, turn on that bell for notifications so you know when my content hits the internet. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.